Welcome to America Rising Media, where it is our mission to spread truth, expose evil, and affect as much positive change and unity as possible. We encourage open dialogue, so join us in the chat and share your thoughts. Please note that the views and opinions expressed by guests and audience members are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of America Rising Media. We encourage you to critically evaluate all perspectives presented during our broadcast. We appreciate your understanding and thank you for being part of our community.
In the room starts to shake. Every seat got a fighter, every point got a stake. Keep points, heat grins, then the volume goes. One more hot take and somebody might fly. Hands up, here we go again. Talk real loud, let the chaos begin. Side to side and the truth gets loud. Spin City calls it out. Right there in the crowd, the panelists on America Rising Media. The panelists on America. Touch. He leans in close, then he cuts to the chase. A raised eyebrow hit right across his face. One says yes, one says no in a flash. He turns the heat up like he wants it to clash. A finger in the air and the debate goes wild. Every argument sharp, every answer style. He laughs, he swings, then he hands up the mic. The whole room buzzes like a match in the night. Hands up, here we go again. Talk real loud, let the chaos begin. Side to side and the truth gets loud. Spin City calls it out. Right there in the crowd, the panelists on America, hey, Rising Media. The panelists on America, woo, Rising Media. Spin City, spin it hard, yelling at everyone. Spin City, spin it hard, nobody leaves untouched.
Welcome to America Rising Media. I am Spin City News, also known as the Panelist. Want to welcome Brick Petitions, your new co-host to the America Rising Media family. Mr. Brick, welcome to the show, sir. Thank you for giving me your wisdom and knowledge and help me through this troubled times as we are living in right now. What say you, sir?
Hello. Good evening to all the peoples out there in America and on America Rising Media. Yes, I am Brick, and thank you to the host, Mr. Spin City News, as well. Thank you to the audience for showing up, and I'm sure we've got some great stuff in store today.
Oh, this is going to be one of my best shows that I have put together. I want to introduce our special guest this evening, Mr. Dragon Fist TV. Good evening, Dragon Fist. Andrew, what say you?
Hail, gentlemen. How are you guys tonight?
We are blessed. We are blessed to be here. Want to give a shout out to America Rising Media for hosting this great show that we have in store for you. We are live on Spin City News on YouTube, the Benjamin Balderson channel on YouTube, Spin City News on X. Of course, we are on the America Rising Media platform on all social media platforms, and we are live on Dragon Fist TV We're waiting for one more ride or die that comes with Andrew. We will get this show, but I'm going to introduce a person well known, very well known to the pilled community. Mr. Kevin's Chaotic Coffee is joining our panel this evening. Good evening, sir. It's great to have you.
Good evening.
What say you, sir?
I'm in my padded room. It's safe in here, and my safe word is pineapple.
Well, what I'm about to show you guys, we may need to join Kevin in his padded room because we have some filth and debauchery, and we're going to have a discussion about what we are seeing out of New Jersey. We also have from the well-known pilled community, we have For the Win. For the Win. Good evening, sir.
Evening,
What say
Spin.
you?
Evening, Spin. Evening, Brick. Andrew. Kevin. Let's have some fun tonight.
We have some fun. We do have some fun in store. We also have Cameron. Welcome to the America Rising Media platform. What say you, sir? Good evening.
Well, hello, everyone, and I just came to be a part of this conversation, hopefully.
Well, you will be a part of this conversation. I promise you. We are going to move some people around up on the screen. We are trying to wait a couple more minutes for the ride and die. Mr. Easy Money, as I'm going to call him, my arch nemesis.
He should be here soon.
Sure, awesome. So let's begin tonight with a bird beak. That's all I can call this. I have no freaking idea what this person is thinking. Mind you, this person is at a protest.
Let's see it.
Not coming up. Oh, hold on a minute. Technical difficulty. I got a glitch. Hold on a second.
Let's see it whenever you get it ready.
Oh,
this
yes.
is the protest?
Yes, this is the
I
people at the protest. I didn't know. I didn't know that a protest was like a Halloween party. I mean, we've got our blowies out there, and what I mean by blowies is people in inflatable costumes out there. We have people out there just being weird. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Kevin, what's your reaction to this? I mean, other than we need a padded cell.
To this?
To this right here.
Is this video or is this just an image?
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play this video, but I just want everybody's initial reaction.
There's just so much. There's just so much going on here. There's so many messages. This person put some thought into this outfit and wants us to know all the things. I see plagues. I see Palestine. I see confusion about cultural appropriation. I see color choices, which only can define someone who is at the last edge of sanity.
I was trying to get some sanity out of it. Mr. Brick, can you please help me out here with this?
I mean, a picture's worth 1,000 words. I'm sure the video is going to give us 1,000,000. Right off the rip, I see a story that's never ending. It's like somebody got lost. Somebody got lost in the labyrinth. It's like, I mean, yeah, I guess this is probably cousin of the fire gang. Probably. Yeah, I mean, it just blows my mind. Like I'm all into Halloween, but Halloween's once a year. So, you know, I'm trying to figure out what an adult is doing, dressed up so I don't know, impetuously. I guess that's the word I could use.
Well, well, at the end of the day, it goes to the point of you'll see anything at a protest, right? I mean, you will see all types of people at a protest. And, I'm going to take it down for just a second. I just feel that some of these people, they don't get it. They don't. They are out there trying to voice their opinion. And listen, Brick, I know you're with me on this. The First Amendment is the First Amendment.
It is.
Do you really honestly want to go to a protest? Do you really want to go to a protest and see unaliving masks? I mean,
I don't know what the message is. Like, the message should be conveyed, right? And the only message I'm getting is LARPing. And don't get me wrong, I'm all about your fantasies coming true as long as you're not hurting anybody. But it's not necessarily coming across. I can't see and I have to imagine too that there's going to be some trouble in the speaking. The speaking is going to be trouble if you want to hear someone to hear your message. You might not want to wear a mask that covers your entire voice.
Well, I mean, and you'll see in this video where a friend of mine that is actually streaming this video from New Jersey asked this lady, "Can you even breathe under that thing?" And she has to lift. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. I'm like, okay, now you're lying. I mean, why would you have to lift a mask up to be able to breathe?
Shit's wild.
Let's look at this for just a minute while we're waiting for our other ride or die.
Okay, for you guys, because we are all one. Let me explain. You're the only one who said we are one. I'm a de-escalator until I gotta escalate, and you got me then. You said I'm on the wrong side. You said I'm on the right side. There's no wrong side. We are all one in this country. You guys say them and us. We say we. It's we. No, I can't
As she's trying to adjust the mask so she can breathe. Now, mind you, this guy's hat, if I'm not mistaken, says make aliens great again.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. Bro. I'm sure a lot of people are at a loss for words. Yeah, you know what? Alien was a good movie. It was. Yes, make Alien a good movie again.
Isn't that why he's wearing like an alien mask or that green mask?
Yeah.
So he's an alien? Yeah. So he wants to make himself great again. I'm joking. I don't know what it was, but
Ron over on pill.net says you can't fix stupid, but you can numb it with a 2x4. Sound familiar, folks?
So I want to hear Andrew's thoughts. What's your thoughts so far on what you're seeing, Brody?
I think it's right on par for them. They think they're being so clever. We don't even understand what message they're trying to convey. And it's right on brand. I mean, the left has become the party of the mentally ill, and it's on display. Not to say that they're all mentally ill, but the mentally ill people are on the left also. It's part of their base. And that's who you see them, call to the streets in times like this. Like, those protesters are either getting paid or, their friends are like someone's calling them to go, that they're that they know. They're not there for the actual reason of some injustice. Like, they probably don't even really know what specifically the programs they want changed, what policies they want changed. If you ask them, they have no idea. Someone told them where to go and they went there. It's like the ones in Minnesota that were standing out in the freezing cold. They were definitely getting paid. Like, they're not standing out there in the freezing cold, and these people are not standing out there for the actual issue. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I've done a lot of protests, not being there. I've done a lot of documenting of protests. And, the camera, or excuse me, let's say the microphone picks up a lot of stuff. And when I come back and I do my editing, it's like on my Stream Deck, I have this bleep button. And it's a little bit clouded because I'm always hitting that button doing edit, right? And it just absolutely is crazy what these people say. And it mind boggles me a little bit.
I think Andrew's 100% on par for that as well. He's mentioning that, a lot of these people seem to be maybe mentally ill. And, I'm going to point this out. Okay. Like, there are social programs that are necessary in this country. And we like some social programs to take care of those who are weaker than us. It's good. It's a good thing. But you don't take those same people and parade them around when they have those mental illnesses. And it does seem as if certain groups of people are parading their weaker ones around as if they're the sideshow. You had like in the early 1900s, you had the circus going around, and you had the bearded lady and all of the quote unquote freaks. They were literally called freaks. And it's almost like that they're doing that again. And it's almost sad. But at the same time, this is their people. It's not my people, It's my American brothers and sisters, and I feel bad for it, but they're doing it to themselves.
Go ahead, Kevin.
I've worked with within the organizations with the Democratic Socialists of America and such. I can tell you, the majority of the people you see protesting are not paid. Some organizers may be getting kickbacks. That part is happening. The way it works, from my experience, is the majority of the people you see protesting are not given the full organizational breakdown of what the game plan is. When they're using people who are either not informed or, let's say, handicapped, they're often not telling them what the end goal of all of this is, which is to destroy capitalism, to remove the borders of all countries, to allow for mass migration, to usher in socialism and then communism. I just want to say, I know that a lot of people want to believe that the protesters are paid. I want you to do the math on that for a moment, please.
It would be so much money. Like for the Trump ones, 8 million people, how much would you pay them? Like
Well, let's not forget, you guys, that there are a ton of useful idiots on their side as well, too. They're not all 100% paid.
They don't all require payment.
When you're watching these streams, though, and you look at specifically who's got the bullhorn, who's yelling and screaming, who's got the attention on them, those are your paid people right there. So
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
I'll tell you how it works.
Protest. It's existed for like.
Hold on, Cameron. Let Kevin finish. Go ahead, Kevin.
I'll tell you how this works. Having sat in several organizational meetings, they get their core groups in to meet with the organizers, who are the ones that, yes, typically handle the bullhorns. They have parade marshals. They have the people who run the corralling, and then they have their enforcers and their community safe space facilitators. They say, go and tell 3 of your friends, go talk to your family members and your neighbors. They use tactics of guilt and fear to get people in the community involved in these causes. They get them out to form crowds, which then get picked up by the mainstream media to provide optics. And then the PR teams are the only people allowed to speak to the media to deliver tailored months in advance. I don't know how involved you guys are with the background of how these things happen. These events are planned months, if not up to 2 years in advance. And they have gone through they have psychologists on their side. They have legal on their side, lawyers. They've got the academics on their side, authors. They are constantly having meetings about how to organize. They have debriefing sessions they have after action debriefs after they have these calls to action, which are then picked up by the news. They refine their tactics. They change their tactics. They use emotional manipulation. They use psychological manipulation. And they have people who have served in our military assisting them. And I'm not talking about just combat soldiers. I'm talking about people who have served at a government capacity to overthrow other governments. And that's what we're dealing with here.
Absolutely. Dixon Ormus over on the Dragon Fist TV channel on YouTube says, not all are paid. Most are sheep. Thank you for coming in with the Big 10 for Dragon Fist.
Thank you, Dixon. I'm using my phone to like it from my... Thank you. I appreciate you, man.
You know, we all up here can agree. We all up here can agree that mostly all of them are just there. But I say this very, very, very forcefully. It runs on the good buddy system. And I know it's repetitive, but the good buddy system is where you get a text message from your best friend and say, hey, you know what? I'm going down to the protest, right? Hey, you want to come along? We can scream and we can, you know, just hang out. And, you know, I mean, they might not be the same like-minded people.
These are the people that just go out into the woods and scream, you know, like it's to your point exactly. Like, let's just go and vent our grievances, whatever they want to say. It's their way to get their TDS out is really just what it is at the end of the day. Right. And also shout out to the guy with the Make Aliens Great Again hat, because aliens.gov is a hit. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it is awesome. Check it out. Aliens.gov.
I mean, you know, I'm going to put this up. I'm not going to put the music or whatever they are doing up on the screen because it's probably not good. But
yeah, got to be careful with the.
Yeah, I got to be careful with it. You know, here we go. We're having a party. We're out there with our drums and our bongos and
drum line.
Yeah, drum line. We got a drum line going. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about, folks. It is more of a party at times, okay? At times, it is more of a party atmosphere than it is anything.
Well, yeah, no, you're right. 100% right. They're not, I mean, look, again, it's the message, right? Trying to figure out what this message is tough, right? You know, we've all seen the movies. We've all seen the videos of, you know, what was going on in the 60s and the 70s. And they had a message. You know, some of them didn't even like the unions. They had a lot of problems with the unions. And they would go out there. They would have signs. They would be dressed well. And I do understand, like, if you're going out there now, that there's like tear gas and stuff. You probably want to protect your eyes and things. But they're not looking like they have a message. They're looking like they're looking for a festival.
Right. And you know what, Kevin, there was a comment in the chat about TDS. What's TDS and what you asked to hit on that comment. So absolutely, go ahead. The floor is yours, sir.
Okay, there are two things now. Trump derangement syndrome. I understand that people may want to default to that as a reasoning behind the actions which we are seeing. And I would caution, remember, the main goal of this is to bring down the capitalist systems, to destroy the nuclear family, to remove people's private property, to remove children as the heir of a family, to turn the child into a ward of the state. So that's one thing I want to point out. Please, I would caution you, do not chalk this up to Trump derangement syndrome. That actually minimizes the real danger that we're facing as a society in our Western cultures. Secondly, the protests these days are more or less serving as a distraction to draw people's attention from what's being placed into policy and law internationally, both in the United States and in Europe and in Western culture, where our legal mores and norms are either being eroded or fully upended to allow for a significant cultural shift, of which has been attempted for millennia now. And
Kevin, you're so on point, brother, man. Just so you know.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here like blown away, like, yo.
and I'm hesitant to say Islam, and at the same time, I'm not laying it all on Islam.
Right.
The Islamic factions are using the radical left and the current upheavals of societal sanity in order to cause a moral emergency where it would make sense to adopt strict theocratic dictates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then they'll go for them last.
Yeah, Andrew, after he was done, I'd like to get your take, and obviously the rest of the panel. But go ahead, Kevin. I apologize for interrupting you.
I will leave it there because I can always add later. I would like to stop every once in a while if I hear something where it's from my experience in working as I am a card-carrying member of the Democratic Socialists of America. I have attended so many of their meetings, and I know what their plan is. If I hear people reducing it down to Trump derangement syndrome or minimizing what's actually happening here, people may not know what the game is. And even if you know what the game is, then please take responsibility and don't minimize it down to like things that can just, be like, oh, they're crazy. Well, they're crazy and somehow highly organized.
Andrew, what are your thoughts?
He's almost right about all of it. It is complicated. It's not. It's easily reducible to TDS, but there's much more going on. It is intellectual warfare, and that's how they get so many people to go. It's really a corrosive ideology. And if you go to like a college campus and you see how the students feel about America, this is a problem. This creates a weaker America. It creates less patriotism, less loving your country, less homogeny. When you bring in immigrants that don't speak the same language as you, you have less homogeny. You can't talk to your neighbors. You have less in common with them. It's just a fact. So this is all by design, and it's a lot more insidious. And I think that's what Kevin was getting to. It's very insidious what they're doing. They've been trying to do it, he said, for millennia. They've definitely been trying to do it for decades, for sure, with this type of intellectual warfare. First, infiltrating the universities. That's where they started. Fully took over the education system, almost fully took over the media. Thank God we're doing what we're doing. People stopped trusting the media, which kind of opened the door for us. But they've taken over all these institutions and they've put out this insidious, corrosive ideology. And the reason it happens over and over for millennia is not this specific form of it, but you can only have liberalism itself is like a cancer on good conservatism. You can only have liberalism when you have strong conservatism. Because if you don't have a strong society, there's nothing for liberalism to come in and be like, hey, I want to fix that, or hey, this isn't fair. You first have to have the society for people to come in and start complaining about it and trying to progress it forward. So that cycle has happened over and over since the beginning of history. Absolutely. I think Kevin, really smart man. I don't know. You said you were on the you were on the left, and what, you switched over from stuff you saw. I'm trying to get caught up.
I was on the left until about 2008 when I started transitioning over to a conservative. I should say back to conservative because my roots are conservative on a farm in Wisconsin.
Shout out Wisconsin.
Yep. Shout out Wisconsin. I was at a Minneapolis Pride event in Loring Park in 2008, and I saw kids at the event, and it was the first time I ever saw kids at the event. And you don't take kids to Pride. You don't take kids to the freaking park where people are engaged in adult activities.
Can I tell you why they do that? Because they can't have kids of their own. They can't, most gay couples, most LGBT can't have their own kids. They need yours. So yeah, they want to indoctrinate them early.
Now I'm going to say this. I am okay. Full disclosure here. My legal name is Cassandra. I was born male, transitioned, detransed as much as I could. Parts of me are obviously missing, and I'm gay.
Hate, man. I'm just saying, like, what the stats. It's not like to you. It's not. I'm not mad, or I don't like.
I'm not offended. I'm not offended. I want to add. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add to what your statement was.
Perfect.
There are pedophiles who have infiltrated what was originally the GLB, and then became the GLBT. And then became the LGBT because, ladies first. And then they added the Q, and then they added the I, and then they added the A, and then they added the plus, and then they added the 2S, and then they added some more of the alphabet. And the M and P want to get in on this mix. And we originals, the old school, because I'm over 5 decades walking on this planet. Okay, how much can I say? Back in the day, if we found one of the gays, and if the gays dared lay a hand on the children, if you think that the rednecks, the way that the stories go about how the rednecks treated the gays on the back of a pickup truck, go through a cornfield, if you only knew what we did to our own, if they attacked a child.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Because we never, ever approved of anyone taking the innocence of a child. That is sick.
Yeah,
I think what you're pointing to is like a takeover of your movement, which is obvious to people from the outside. Like we never had a problem with gay people or lesbians. They were always cool. Like it's only when this radical, like when you tacked on all the other stuff and they didn't do a service to gay people who like no one cared, let them get married. Like everything was cool before the T's and the pluses jumped on your bandwagon. And it did a lot of damage to your movement, I think.
I think more so the Q than the T, because we had beautiful transsexuals. Now it's not right to call somebody a transsexual, even though that's what it
that was the origin of it. Yeah.
Transvestite it used to be.
Well, mostly the transvestite we called a drag queen, and then the transsexual they now want to call it transgender, but the transgender, oh my God. And then the whole concept of queer Marxist theory. The whole point of gender bending.
They added in the Marxist stuff, yes.
It's the Marxist shit that they added in. And the thing is that we didn't know at the time. We just felt sorry for the queers because they were outcasts of society. And so we freaking felt sorry for them, but we didn't know their politics.
Yep.
And had we known their politics.
The same thing the Muslims are doing right now. It's the same thing. It's happening again. They're doing it to you again.
You know, Kevin, I will say I appreciate your view. You know, I've got some friends who are gay, and you remind me of them. And like you said about yourself, they're old heads. You know, they're not, you know, this new generation coming in that's just basically accepting of anything and everything. You know, and so I really appreciate your view. You know, and the fact that you pointed out, you know, they have this thing called maps.
Yeah.
And that right there is exactly what the intent is with them people. Is they want that's a thing, and it's not. It's not.
They don't want that. What are you I'm sorry. What are you talking about? They do not want that. That's why it wasn't co-opted. Like that the LGBTQIA community said no to maps. Like that's why they're not a part of it.
No, they do.
I'm sorry.
Listen, gentlemen, I hate to interrupt. I hate to interrupt this conversation, but there's money on the table, and we love our money. Shout out to Scott17 over on pilled.net for the cookie. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you. Back to you, gentlemen.
And if I could pick up off of Kevin's initial point here, like what we're seeing is like this information overload, or like a fire hose of falsehood, if you will. You know, it's not necessarily to convince people of like just one specific story, but you're just trying to overwhelm them, making it hard to tell what's true and what's not. So they disengage, and you don't know. There's a level of uncertainty to all of this. So when they say, oh, it's the tiny hats, it's the Muslims, it's this, it's that. Well, there's so much out there in the ether. What they all just kind of come back to is what their initial point is their TDS. And that's what kind of like stems all of their hatred right now. And that's why they all come out in this mass right now. So
I do want to. Can I clear up the maps thing first as well? On the outside, they will tell you that they do not want that, but that is because if they tell you that that's what they want, because they know that this place will get burned down. That place will get burned down because the majority of America is going to burn it down. But if they tell you on the outside, but we're dealing with powers at the top. We're not like Epstein type people, right? This is
They're
not
all moving. Yeah. You saw the guy, the Peter Thiel just moved to Argentina.
Yeah.
And Facebook guy Zuckerberg, he has a bunker in Hawaii. They're all like leaving mainland US. Why is that?
Yep.
But literally, Peter Thiel just moved his whole family to Argentina.
I want to give a shout out to Dixie Orris over on Dragon Fist TV with the 5 Dragon Fist TV memberships. Thank you very much. I know Andrew appreciates the gift that keeps on giving.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Yeah. So again, you know, it's on the outside, yes. But those at the top of that type of food chain, a lot of them, the regular folks, like Kevin, he don't like that shit, right? Excuse me, again, apologize. He doesn't like that stuff. You know, I'm trying to keep it clean. Look, I'm a son of a sailor. I gotta apologize. Right? But in all seriousness, you know, the old heads, they just wanted to be able to live their life and get along with people without having to worry about getting hurt, right? That's it, right? Just live your life and everybody's happy. But adding in this portion is something that those at the top are actually wanting, even though they won't come out and tell you that. That's why Epstein Island happened.
Which portion?
Epstein was mostly straight people.
Regardless of straight or not, it's kiddie.
I mean, well, you're just mentioning a conspiracy.
Talking about
like, you don't have proof of what you're stating. I have proof of every LGBTQIA group denying maps, and you're just like, well, it's actually a conspiracy from the top. I'm sorry, but you do not have any proof for this conspiracy.
Epstein is the proof.
Epstein, like, what about Epstein? He was a billionaire. Like, what's that supposed to do? He was a billionaire straight man. Like, oh wow.
Massive amounts of political affiliation, where we now know that political affiliation was 100% involved in that type of activity. Were they not?
He also openly funded, let's see, Israel. Like, I can name the two funds he sent to Israel. Like,
so now you know that there's an agenda, right? If there's an agenda that's very clear and obvious, yet you choose
they want inclusive. They want to be part of the in-group. That's what everyone wants.
Look, if you're saying that gay rights is about having a people group that extends outside of the law, then I'm not for it.
No.
But if you're saying gay rights
is about
if you're saying gay rights is about you want to be able to live your life without being hurt as an adult for the way that you live your life without hurting anybody else, then I'm all for it.
Yes, that's what most gay people want. That's what most LGBTQI people want. That's why they never co-opted maps, because it's not about unconsensual bullshit. It's about consensual between two adults. Like, that's what it is. Yeah, sorry.
Right. So if you get people at the top of your organization, if you want to make it an organization, I believe that you have the right to do that. You have the right to make an organization out of it. But I'm going to tell you right now that the organizations do not make the decisions. The legislators and the judges do. Okay? The legislators and the judges, that's who makes the decisions. Now, you bring your issue, you bring your plight with your organization to them, and then they make the changes for you. That's what petitioning your government is. But your organization is not going to make the change. It is them.
Well, you know, the only way that we can make change, other than, you know, or the facilitation of the change, is go to the voting booth. We all know this. That is the only pure way to make a change. Now, we can, again, I'll put it back up on the screen. We can sit there and do this, but at the end of the day, what real change? And Kevin and Andrew, I want to tie you to obviously in on this, because I want your opinions, because it matters to me. It matters to our viewers. It matters to, in my opinion, to everybody. How can we make a change? I just want to call notice to right now. Look at all the resources. Look at all the resources that are being facilitated at the taxpayers' expense to have all these police out there. All of the fencing. It's sure not done for free. Kevin, I want to start out with you, and then we'll move to Andrew. Kevin, what is your thoughts on it? I'll put it back up on the screen.
These objects are being used Now, you asked for my thoughts, so I'm going to tell you these optics are being used. These optics are being used to promote what is known as an authoritarian state. These are the optics which are used to promote the concept that we've lost our freedoms in this country and that we have become hostile to all immigrants. That's what these optics are for. This is why I say this is a distraction as well, because behind the scenes, as stated with judges and legislators who, by the way, are also activists in some cases, are changing policies and laws to usher in a true authoritarian state. This is what would be considered a warming up to the notion of normalization of authoritarianism.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, and I'm just gonna put this up on the screen. Mel Gilham says this protesting at facilities is to obstruct operations only, puts a bad light on the optics. Andrew, I'm sure you've heard what Kevin and everybody else has said, but I'd like your take on what's being said.
Can you give me a question specifically? Because I was in the chat and I will respond to it.
Oh, sure. The optics of all this, and I'll just bring this back up. Would you agree that the protesting at these facilities is to obstruct them?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I know what you're asking. So if you look at Minnesota, optics was the whole point. It worked. The Trump administration did back off after a while because the optics were so bad. So optics is completely the point. Just the deconstruction of cities and anarchy and this because there's another. See, people think that if you run your city terribly, this is what the public thinks, that the public will vote that person out and try a different party. But that's not what happens in reality. We see they vote in the same people over and over, regardless of the results. And the people in power know this. And the strategy isn't actually to do well for your constituents, but almost to make all the people that don't agree with you leave. And then guess what? You did such a shitty job, all your opponents left, and now everybody votes for you. See, because people get fed up. That's what actually happens. The people that disagree get fed up and leave. So the chaos and the optics is 100% the point. 100%. Like I said, they don't even know why they're there most of the time. They don't know the actual issue that they're supposed to be there for.
Sure, absolutely. And Andrew James comes in over on the Benjamin Balderson channel with the Big Ten, says, great panel. Thank you very much, Andrew. Much appreciated. Scott 17 over on America Rising Media says, can we honestly vote ourselves out of tyranny? Gentlemen, do you guys have a response to that? Andrew, we'll start with you.
Can we vote ourselves out of tyranny?
Yes.
It seems unlikely. The way the system is set up now, it just seems, even with Trump, who we really thought had the whole thing was make America great again. Everybody thought he was going to do what was right for us, and it doesn't really seem like that anymore. He sets up a slush fund. Yeah, some of it's to help people that were victims of political prosecution, but still, it's taxpayer money. We could have used it to pay down the debt if they cared about that at all, which they don't. Just tons of military spending. It's just the same thing over and over. And as long as there's this much money involved, no, you can't stop it with your vote, because literally they'll kill people over it. Like they'll unalive people, excuse me. If your job is worth that much money and you threaten that person's money, there's things they'll do to you. We see it with Trump. They went after him legally. They went after his businesses. They went after him with lawfare, and they tried to unalive him. And this is the plan. And they'll do it. If they did it to him, they'll do it to anyone. So you have to be careful. It's very hard to change things with your vote, even if you're a politician.
And absolutely. And oh my God, Scott 17 with another cookie over on pilled.net. Thank you, sir. We much appreciate it. For the win,
I'd like to disagree with Andrew here. No offense, brother, but it's about election security at the end of the day. Like with each side, we know their playbook and they know what our playbook is. And Trump has been from day one about election security with everything. So that's what he's doing right now. And when you look at all of his primary choices, he's 101-0 with all of his selections so far. So we have that going for us on our side. And then, every step of the way, we have eliminated ways that they can traffic a ballot or vote in some way, shape, or form. And their system is crumbling apart. So come November, there are going to be plenty of votes that they're just not going to have anymore. So when you look at these organized protests now, they knew our playbook of that election security. So you have to rally their side so that you can squeak out every legal vote that they can obtain in November to have any chance in hell to be able to move forward as a party. And if that doesn't happen, which I believe is going to happen, there's not going to be a Democrat Party left here when we're all said and done with it. So
absolutely. And again, Scott 17 with another cookie. Send me a link, broski. It is done, sir. It is in your DM. Sean Joe, we're getting another cookie over there from Sean Joe. Thank you very much, sir. Much appreciated.
Can I push back on that and ask a follow-up question?
Sure, absolutely. Please do.
I mean, I think we just saw with Thomas Massie and how easily money can change an election, right? Like, this is someone who was clearly going to win. Most people like Thomas Massie, and they were able to unseat him. And this is another reason that I'm a little upset with Trump, because the thing that stands out to me about Massie is that he votes against sending money to Israel, and then huge Israel PACs put $20 million, 20, whatever it was, a lot of money to have it taken out. This is my point about the left. So we're not so easily going to defeat them just because their policies are stupid and failing. That was my whole point. Failing. How could you then explain a Mayor Mamdani, or a Gavin Newsom, or these people that are just terrible actual policymakers, completely far left, so far left we never thought we'd see it, or an AOC. AOC or Gavin might be the presidential nominee. Then what? That would be a very different tale than the one that I hope that what you're saying is true, brother. I hope. But
and to the point with those people specifically, those are the rats on the ship. You can't just simply eliminate them off the chessboard just because they're bad actors. You have to be able to show the people exactly why they are the bad actors. I mean, look at this LA mayoral race right now. I mean, Karen Bass and her choices and what led to those fires and everything. My gosh, I don't care who you are, left, right, center, anybody. If you have a fire happen like that because there's no water, you should be flat out gone. And at this point, I think from a poll I just saw earlier this morning that what's the gentleman running against his name?
Spencer Pratt, but she's still going to win. It may be getting closer.
Well, let's see. I mean, and I don't trust polls worth a damn either, but that wasn't like what the polls were showing 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, or anything in this. And the resurgence in this and what he's doing and everything, he's running a really good campaign against her.
Great.
So something specifically like that, like how in the world could you ever elect someone that let your city burn to the ground? That's wild to me.
Absolutely.
And all the Republicans left already. That's my point. They left. They went to Texas. They're gone. So you only have the
we've got some more cookies and we've got some cans over there on pilled.net, Scott 17, with the massive amount of cookies over on Pilled. Sean Joe with 2 cans of Coke, cans of beer. We really appreciate it. We most definitely love for you to help us with the stream. That's the only way we can keep this possible from coming to your living room or your phone. Gentlemen, I apologize for the interruption. Back to you.
Well, if I may, I'd like to offer a little bit of middle ground. So yes, I do believe that voting is a very large, very important aspect for change. However, it is not the only. obviously we have all three branches, so change can come from all three branches. Now it's very difficult to get the executive branch to make any change in the way they do things, of course, partially because the legislators themselves, as well as the judicial, tend to have their way of doing things, and they want the executive branch to do things their way, and then they write the rules in the legislation. However, there's the fourth branch, the people, which slightly is a portion of the voting, but the majority of that fourth branch is your ability to exercise your rights. Primarily, I'm speaking on number one, your right to press, and then number two, your right to petition. This is why I brought up petition prior, which I appreciate, what we're doing here, this portion here, the folks in the chat and the newspapers and all of that. That is your right to press, your right to the ability to put your opinions out into the public, publish your opinions. When you come into our chats, when you speak your mind, you are giving us your opinions, and that communication, there is no law against it, because I mean, obviously there's things that are not in the purview of press. Your rights aren't limited. They're just certain things that you might say, oh, that could be my right. No, like slander, things like that. That doesn't exist. But
absolutely.
Press.
It depends where you are. What about England? They're arresting people for posting stuff left and right.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%.
This is important.
When you look at these other countries, they don't have what we have here, and you should exercise your rights and make sure that people know your opinions, because as soon as you stop exercising your rights, you lose them. And then you get into your right to petition, and that would be obviously your voting, your vote. That's the start of your petition, right? But then also, I do agree that certain protesting is valuable, but then you have to know what the message is, and you have to actually be able to articulate that. That helps. But then most importantly on petition is taking things to the court. People are not using the courts to the fullest extent, in my opinion. The corporations do. The corporations tie up the courts so much that it's ridiculous at this point. You can't even get your case heard. But you got to try it. You got to go. You got to do the work. Learn the rules. It's the rules, right? It's the rules. When you take it to the court, they have their rules. Civil procedure, criminal procedure. You have to learn that and do it yourself. If you need to file criminal charges on somebody because they actually did something real that's wrong, I mean, obviously, I don't expect you guys to be turning in your neighbors for some stupid shit. Like, we're not going. We're not going.
Absolutely.
I don't want to go commie on this shit.
I have to interrupt you, gentlemen. Of course, we've got a raid from woke societies over on pill.net. Lance coming in with the big fleet. Judy the lady pug with the can. Much appreciated. I promise. Wait a minute. Lance with another cookie. Trump red pill with the can over on pilled.net. We also have the fourth Wiseman coming in with the Big 10. As soon as I get it, there it is. What you see today in the present when it's political issues is what's in play from 4 years prior, put into action. No one will ever defeat the system if you push against something already mastered. And we got another cookie over on pilled.net, and also Scott 17 from the Pilled Arm family. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the Panelist on America Rising Media.
Can I comment on you, sir? Okay, sorry. Good.
Can you not hear me, Scott? Oh, maybe he's having an issue. Go ahead, Andrew.
I want to comment on Fourth Wiseman's super chat. He always has great ones. Yes, I think he's right. Absolutely. We're fighting against something that's already mastered. This is clearly, in my opinion, he can let us know if he agrees. The thing that I think they've mastered a long time ago, since the art of war, right, is divide and conquer. And this is like so obvious. We've never been more divided. They're stealing all the money. They're doing it either through, you know, insider trading or fraud or whatever it is, or sending it overseas for military, whatever it is. They're stealing the money left and right. There's probably not even any gold in Fort Knox. They won't even let the president look. So divide and conquer played out perfectly. And it's just another example of, like, we know what they're doing, but we still can't stop it, which is really at least some of us know what they're doing.
And I'd argue with the 2020 election, the left was all about asking Trump, are you going to let the peaceful transition of power happen? Are you? They never thought that he was just going to walk away. They were anticipating that he was going to stay, be a quote unquote dictator, this, that, and everything. And from our side, we knew that they were going to steal it. We know now what their election rigging system actually is and what it's capable of doing, and we let them do it ultimately. So what we're going to see over the next couple months, specifically, I think the next month here, is a lot on 2020 coming out here, and that's going to be the can of worms that unfurls everything else. It's going to be wild here, guys. So
absolutely,
it's 4th of July. So
absolutely. And Trump Red Pill 1 says he gifted a cookie. Thank you very much. This is to welcome back Kevin Chaotic over on pill.net. What say you, sir?
Thank you. And good to see you.
Yep.
I want to add something, though.
Sure.
Please.
Earlier, the mention of court and was brought up. Guys, I attended, what was it? Maybe a few months back, maybe it was 4 months ago, through the radical left channels, which I was working with, grand jury nullification classes.
Oh my God.
How to get selected as a jury member for grand juries. And if you consider why we might need grand juries at this point, the people on the radical left factions saw this coming as well and have been training people on how to nullify. So you cannot retry. Or if you try to retry a case, it costs so much money to retry cases of great gravity that often they never make it back. And so for political purposes, to overthrow the due process of our country's laws.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to respond to that as well.
And well, before we do that, I want to introduce another ARM family member, Scott17. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. What say you, sir?
It's going well. Great Saturday afternoon, sun shining, no wind, no rain. It's a great day.
Awesome. And welcome to the panelist on America Rising Media, sir.
I figured we've been talking about this enough. I figured I'd hop in and finally.
Absolutely. Clay, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go to Clay and then I'm going to go to you, Scott, and you can have the floor. Clay, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Just a real quick point. So when it comes to the juries, that's a wonderful point, Kevin. This is something that's a real issue, but it's something that we really can't do anything about because it's a real thing. And in my opinion, it should not be done anything about. It should be allowed, for principal reasons I have, but this is why you should know who your jurors are. This is why when you are in your case, those questions that you should be asking to those jurors to find out whether they should be on the jury or not. You've got a big selection of jurors that you got to pull from. You need to ask the right questions, and you can't let anything slide. And thank you,
I've got some news, and you're welcome. And I've got some news. They are trained how to answer those very specific questions.
Look for the tells.
Yeah.
They cover how you dress, how to present yourself, how to answer all the questions.
Sure.
How to pass yourself off as a neutral, even if you're an activist.
Mm-hmm.
It is downright. I mean, I'm not kidding. when I say do not reduce these people to being stupid, insane, crazy, having TDF, all those things that people could easily just dismiss these people.
They're smart.
These people are organized.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Scott 17. What say you, sir? And then we're going to move up to Andrew.
As much problems as I was having trying to get it here, I missed the question.
Clay?
I could hear things.
Hit him with the question of the hour. Hit him with the question, sir.
Yeah, mostly, we're on this this protesting stuff and, why it is that people want to protest. And we've gone down a few little rabbit holes to try to fish it out. Mostly, I think the consensus is that the message needs to be clear if people are out there protesting. And quite often it's not. And you can see that with that girl with the mask on in the early part of the episode. It's just like she's wearing a never-ending story mask and she's LARPing, and it's weird instead of actually having a message.
Some heavy shit.
I'm gonna pass on that one just so I can get a little more context because I didn't even see the video.
No problem. Andrew, your thoughts, sir.
Can you come back to me? I just I had to let my dog out.
No problem. No problem. For the win.
Are we talking about the lady in the mask again? Is that what it was? Pretty much.
Well,
I don't think she wears that mask just to protests.
Well,
not her first rodeo.
Exactly. Let's go into the chat. The fourth wise man comes in with the big 10. Divide and conquer is the basic foundation. That's the easy part. The remainder is the unfurling of the scheduled plan. It's the strategy of tightrope walking. 1-1, 1-1-1, etc., with minimal back steps. Gentlemen, your thoughts.
Crazy. Epstein's in the chat.
Oh,
Sorry.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, no, actually, I wanted to touch on foundation a little bit ago because something I forget exactly what it was we were talking about, but something about the foundation when you're building a house, right? So I like to reduce things to the ridiculous, right? I think we were talking about like family values versus what's being injected into the political parties. And how that they want to rip those types of foundations out. That plan to, they operate based on what you should expect your enemy to do. These things aren't new, right? These battle plans aren't new. These things have been done before. They're just attempting it because they believe that you aren't going to catch it. So, if you are paying attention, if you're involved, you're going to catch it. So when it comes to your rights, right, that's, know your rights and learn the law, right? Use the system. That's what they do, right? That's what your enemy will do. They will use the governmental system because that is the law. It's the law of the land, your constitutional rights. And so that's what they're doing. And they're doing it to undermine the system. A really good guy that I met probably a couple years ago, 3 years ago, something like that, said that freedom is its own worst enemy because you have the right to advocate against freedom. So understand what they're doing is they're doing exactly what idiots do. They're taking away their own freedom to try to undermine yours.
Absolutely. And I'm what I'm going to do is we're going to go to Andrew. Do you have any thoughts on the fourth wise man's super chat.
Sorry, I was muted.
Okay.
He's absolutely right. Fourth Wiseman is always right with the messages that he comes in with. Sorry, I was a little distracted. I got this guy in my chat, Manic, talking about bringing Sharia law.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, I know that guy.
I do appreciate that. He said, I'm giving you engagement, and nobody's
But he's
offended.
also
Nobody's
wrong.
offended. Yo, Manic, keep it coming. I enjoy the discourse, man. No hard feelings.
Absolutely.
So, but yes, Fourth Wiseman, right. Manic, wrong.
Scott, you know, you've been around the block. I mean, I think we all have been around the block a time or two, and you know, I'm sure you see some of the same things that I see, whether it's over the internet or in person, about what I'm about to put up on the screen yet again. And mind you, it is 8:10 at night here. Okay. And normally at night, you know, I go back to I go back to the whole thing of, you know, going to Walmart at 11 o'clock at night versus going to Walmart at 11 o'clock in the morning. And it's absolutely funny. We all know what's about to happen. I mean, we got Sister Sledge on and her banjo up here right now. I mean, come on. Let's think about this. We're having a concert. We're singing, and I will not subject our arm of the audience to really bad singing, but
I'm sure it's terrible. These things are always so bad. It's like cringe-worthy bad. Always.
Or I'm sure we're out there doing. I'm sure we're out there doing the chants. But my point in bringing Scott into this conversation is, you see this stuff. We all see this stuff. There is some of it you can laugh at, and there's a lot of it you just do like I do on panels. Just put your head down and just start massaging your brain. What say you to that?
Well, look, I know that it hasn't got completely dark there yet, so it hasn't got completely crazy, but what I'm noticing versus seeing the Portland stuff versus the Newark stuff. I didn't see any inflatable T-Rexes or anything there.
Oh, they're there.
They're okay.
Oh, they're there. I promise you they're there.
Part of the reason I moved away from Portland area was because of that shit. And found myself over on the east side of Washington where it's pretty calm and collected.
Sure. And it's okay, Andrew. We saw her. The gig is up. Now you have to introduce her. Damn cameras. No, your friend that so lovingly just camera bombed us. Now, yeah, you got to say hi now.
Hippie.
Nice to meet you. I am the panelist, and that is my co-host, Mr. Brick Petitions.
Hello.
And all of our friends in the Panelverse community. Nice to meet you, ma'am.
Nice to meet you guys.
She's always here. She's always in the chat. You talk to her.
Oh, probably.
Girl, Zippy.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, well, now she needs a computer, and now I need to give her the StreamYard link. How's that?
100%.
Thank you, Spin.
You're welcome. You know, gentlemen, I don't normally do this because obviously we're 3 episodes in, but there are people in the chat that would like to come up here and face the panel. There is only one rules. We want to stay positive. We don't want a completely, totally degeneration type panel. So what I'm going to do for all of our ARM family, I'm going to use this platform to let you come up and have a chat with us. So in everybody's chat now, and including here the America Rising chat, I have dropped the StreamYard link. All you have to do is come up, and you must cam up in the back. You don't always have to stay on cam, but I need to make sure that you are not doing something that you're not supposed to be doing before I put you in our platform, my platform, and multiple others. So you are more than welcome to come up. We are going to try to keep it as clean as possible. Gentlemen, back to you.
What was that guy's name that
got
caught wanking his shit on?
Oh Lord.
CNN or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah. Listen.
So none of that.
Yeah, we can't have any of that. But the StreamYard link is in the chat if you'd like to come up. We've got about 35 to 40 minutes left of the stream on the America Rising platform. And if we want to continue, I will disconnect from the America Rising platform and we can continue the conversation. Easy, Jax, I'm not happy with you right now. As always.
He fell asleep.
Oh, well, he can still come up here. It's okay. We got money on the table. We got one panelist in the back. The fourth Wiseman comes in with another Big 10, and says, more to the point, isn't about being right. It's blatantly obvious when you desist from filling your mind with scripted narratives from MSM. Grant yourself true time in your spirit to retain and gain clarity. And I did that without my glasses on. I am absolutely happy right now. Gentlemen, any thoughts on that? And I will bring our next guest up onto the panel. Andrew, we'll start with you first, Andrew.
I'm still reading it. More to the point isn't about being right. It's blatantly obvious when you desist from fulfilling. Oh man, his ones are always so deep. From filling your mind with scripted narratives from MSM. Grant yourself true time in your spirit to retain and gain clarity. He's absolutely right. He's talking about unplugging, I think. And the more you unplug, it becomes significantly harder to do this, even especially for the younger generation, as I think their brains are becoming addicted to the constant dopamine hit. And it's funny, I just watched a video on this. This is exactly what that movie, shout out to Sydney Watson. I don't know if you guys have ever seen her channel, but her videos are really good. And she just did a video on this about how Idiocracy, the movie, was like prophetic for what's happening. And 100%. Like the point of what all these people, they couldn't take it when they didn't get instant gratification. That was like this is a movie that's ahead of its time. Everything that happened, they needed that instant. If the guy didn't fix the problem, I think it was like of the rain or the plants or something, immediately they like sentenced him to death, which also had to be a spectacle. Everything had to be entertainment. Everything had to be instant gratification. And it looks like we're barreling towards that reality anyway.
Sure. Absolutely. Clay?
What's Brando? Brando's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes. Yes. We're almost living in Idiocracy for real. That's such a great point. Yeah, I got to.
Oh, that's right. That's the thing that killed the plants.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking. Yeah.
It's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes. Little did they know it was actually salt.
Would have been killed in reality if you tried that. Just saying.
But it's actually happening. People are getting less and less able to not have their screens in front of them. It's a problem.
Yeah. TikTok brain.
TikTok.
The talk of tick. The talk of tick. For the win, any thoughts, sir?
I mean, the MSM is definitely the enemy of the people. That is for sure. But at the same time, you have to use that to your advantage as well, too, to show the people the divide. You can't just tell people that they're a bunch of liars. You actually have to show them what they're doing. And over the next month, we're going to see a lot of stuff, like I was saying before, and that divide is going to be more apparent than ever now. So,
absolutely. Kevin, any thoughts?
Yes, I do have thoughts.
Please.
Taste, touch, audio, sight,
Oh,
and
shit.
scent are the 5 senses which are used when you use the physical body to perceive your surroundings. The way I receive this is how I think when I'm not online. Some people may look at ESP, the extrasensory perception, and reduce it to woo-woo. I don't live in woo-woo. I know in my spirit when I'm reading this, when I retain and gain clarity, it's beyond the 5 senses of my body. To sit with myself, quietly meditate, to feel this is going to sound really gay, the energy of life around me and the death, the rot, decomposition, and rebirth. That's where I gain my clarity. Understanding cycles of nourishment, detriment, starvation, and the emotions with anger, the joy, the desire, the repulsion. That's where I gain my clarity in understanding the full breadth as I can perceive my reality around me. Because some people's reality are limited to the 5 senses, and they don't give themselves the space to exercise the true potential and the abilities which we all have.
Sure, absolutely.
Dude, you should be the voice on like the meditation apps.
Right? The ASMR.
You got a good voice for that.
Absolutely.
Sounds like a reflection of truth.
Sure, absolutely.
Truth.
Scott 17.
Truth. Yes.
Scott 17. Any reaction to the 4th Wiseman?
Well, I think it comes down to, setting your phone down, getting off your computer, like Kevin was saying, going out, touching grass, and get into the real scripted narratives of the Bible.
Sure, absolutely. Easy. My arch nemesis.
Yo.
My arch nemesis.
You hate me, but I love you. I don't know how that works.
It's a love-hate relationship. Good to see you. And we have one more. 4th Wiseman comes in again with the Big 10 and says, all find freedom, peace, and clarity when you're not consistently bombarded with inputs that disturb your essence. Choose where you'd rather be, i.e., in turmoil, hamster wheel, or compelling yourself. Well, myself being in the mode of transportation that I am in most of the time, I would consider myself in a hamster wheel. But anyway, moving on.
I knew where you were going with that, bro.
Thank you, 4th Wiseman, for the Big 10. Easy. My arch nemesis. I have a bone to pick with you. Gentlemen, while I chew him out, give us just a second. Sir, this is called a speed date. And, I kindly ask you to come up on the show. I can't do this. I can't do it. Easy. It's good to see you, my friend. It is, a pleasure to have you up. I tried. Clay, I tried. I tried. I just couldn't do it.
It ain't my fault. Look.
But it's good to see it. Easy. It is good to see you. And we'll have you and Andrew back up if you and we'll get your libtardin. Takes on a lot of things, and hey, we'll get it arranged sometime soon. And I need to learn how to do what Sarah does because I can't keep it all in order.
That's the hardest part, getting all the cameras.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Easy. I have a question for you. are you into taking the questions? I mean, it doesn't look like you waxed today, so we might have some more brain cells. What do you think about what's going on across the bridge right now? And here I will reference this, sir. Easy.
What am I looking at?
You are looking at Delaney Hall in Newark, New Jersey, sir.
They're protesting ICE. Did something happen
protesting
with
ICE,
or are they just protesting just because? Like, did something happen?
Can you tell us what their message is?
Does anybody know?
Yeah, does anybody know? Scott 17, do you know what your message is?
Yeah, they like all the illegal immigrants voting for the Democrats.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
So let me ask a question, right? If you're okay with if you're not okay with immigrants coming over unvetted, how can you be okay with law enforcement being unvetted?
You know what? Okay with illegal immigration.
I like that question though. I'll let my panelists answer that, and then I'm going to answer it. Go ahead, gentlemen.
I'm all about immigration. It's illegal immigration I'm not down with.
Hey, do you mind if I go first?
What's illegal about it?
Hold on 1 second, Kraut. I'll get to you. Give me just 1 minute.
What was the question?
The question, Clay, help me out here.
Well, let's let Easy respond to Scott. And Easy, just can you as well repeat your question so that as the panelists answer, then they will know for reiteration. That'd be great. Thank you.
Why are you against unvetted immigrants, which would be the illegal immigrants that don't get vetted when they come across the border? But you're not okay. But you are okay with unvetted law enforcement.
What do you mean by unvetted law enforcement?
He's talking about ICE not having any training.
Or
ICE has training, bro.
Or real credentials.
Yeah, supposedly they don't have training.
How are you in a law enforcement without credentials or anything like that?
I think what Easy is speaking to, right, sir, is about the incoming folks coming into ICE. They get about 47 days worth of training. Is that what you're asking about?
I'm not asking about it. I'm asking how you're okay with it.
Well, I'm trying to understand your question.
6 weeks of an academy.
I've never met a law enforcement that hasn't been vetted before.
Well, I unfortunately have to say this at very great nauseum. What he's referring to is the unvetted law enforcement in Chicago that we heard that they were this law enforcement officer was in the country without permission, applied for a job.
Oh yeah, I heard this is wild.
As law enforcement in Chicago. They put him through this gentleman, and I do say gentleman very lightly, through training, paid for all of this, never did their due diligence, gave him a pew and a badge and says, go fight crime in our society in Chicago. Yeah.
I'm not okay with that. I'm not, I think, I'm not okay with that either way. I mean, these people that are letting my immigrants become police officers in the first place, I think is ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Because if you're not a citizen of the United States, you should not be able to arrest citizens of the United States in the United States.
I think one's like a mayor. There's like a Chinese mayor or something.
Yeah, that's a whole other story. Politics. I mean, look at Ilhan Omar.
I mean, there's Chinese police stations as well too.
Great point.
And I'm not okay with that.
Me neither. She's got to go, bro. She's got to go, man.
So, and you guys are also very okay with quoting the black statistic. I mean, I hear it on every single one of these neckbeard podcasts. That blacks disproportionately commit crimes based off of their per capita population numbers. But did you know that illegal immigrants also commit a disproportionately low amount of crimes compared to their per capita number?
Is that including the illegal immigration?
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, I know you guys always love to point to that, but they're here already. So deal
all
with it.
these criminals, except for that one crime, if you loop them together and categorize them based on that crime, they don't commit any others.
Right. Easy. That was stupid what you just said, Easy.
Like here's the thing. It's the law. And if you don't like
You're
the
saying
law,
forget about it because they already committed the crime?
There's a process for changing the
He's
law.
saying they don't commit further crimes.
If you don't like the law, that's fine. You cannot like the law, but the law is the law. Now, I don't believe in just turning in your neighbors for the stupid stuff, right? But at the same time, being here illegally, there's a real problem with that. And I'll tell you what the problem with that is, if you're willing to listen. The problem for me is that it's my house. I've reduced things to the ridiculous. Now, I don't have to let you in my house. I don't have to. And if you do come in my house, that's called breaking and entering. If you come on my property, that's called trespassing. And I have every right on my private property to do what I need to do to protect my life, my property. Now, you might disagree with that. Again, but that's something that you don't like about the law.
But the Constitution doesn't say that. The Constitution doesn't say citizens. The Constitution says people, or whatever other verbiage it uses. It doesn't say citizens.
May I say what I like about illegal?
Yeah, but is it implied if it's the United States Constitution that it's
when you say the
Constitution?
When you say
I would think that that's applied.
What specifically are you referring to when you say it says persons?
First Amendment, basically the first 10 amendments. Their citizens comes in later on later amendments.
Are there U.S. citizens?
At that time, I don't think so.
Well,
I don't think there was a citizenship process at that point.
But
they accounted for it later.
But are there now?
Sure.
Okay, so that's the law. Okay. And there's a reason why it's the law, and it's the reason I just gave you. It's private property. We the people own this country. We the people, as in the U.S.
An invasion. What makes it not an invasion? Easy. What makes
it's not organized?
I have a question about this.
So thieves need to organize how they're going to come into your house before they're actually thieves.
I wouldn't call it an invasion if two separate people showed up on my porch at two separate times. I wouldn't call it an invasion.
No, I'm talking about on the macro. How is it not an invasion?
So in Florida,
if American citizens don't want them here and they come anyway and take over.
In Florida, there is no breaking and entering. It's called burglary, but it's also called home invasion. And there's a reason for that. It's private property. We the people own this country. And when it says we the people, it's referencing U.S. citizens.
I mean,
Why do
I'm
you
pretty
think
sure
that?
the federal government has utter control over the borders, so you wouldn't own the borders.
Well, who does China own the United States?
They can buy farmland according to Trump.
Does China own the entirety of the United States?
No.
Okay, so they're not in we the people. Does Israel own the United States?
Debatable.
No.
Yeah, debatable.
No, they don't.
But it does say, if you read the next line, in order to form a more perfect union, like they're talking about Americans, clearly. Like they're not talking about the whole world.
One union.
Can I get in on this?
American states. I think that's the next line. I'm not reading it, but I think that's
states. Yes, that's why we have state powers. Now, if those countries want to become part of the United States, there's a process for that. I don't know if you knew that, but yes, there's a process for any territory or other country. Now, we might not accept them because they don't have or share our values and they don't respect our Constitution, but there's a process.
And you know what? Yeah, you're right, Clay. There is a process to everything. And I want to move. I just want to
read Zippy's comment. Pull up Zippy's comment. It's a good one.
I will do that. Just give me 1 second. Kevin, I know you're chomping at the bit over there. I know you have a comment. Go ahead with your comment, sir.
The consideration I have is how illegal immigrants are used in an exploitative manner. That's my crux. Also, to the point of private property. The whole point of the Marxist movement, the socialist movement, is to dissolve private property. So if we lose our foundations of our laws of our country, we are going to what? Give up our republic to people who would take what you've worked for while turning you into another exploited class of individuals. I don't like illegal immigration because it is rife with exploitation. That's my problem with it.
Absolutely. And I just want to remind everybody, please, if you like what we're doing up here and you like how this is going, please like, share, and subscribe over on YouTube. I see we only have 61 red pills over there. If you could just kindly hit the red pill and repost. We've got about another 24 minutes of the broadcast, and we will continue the broadcast if the panelists would like to continue. But I have to say adieu in about 23 minutes over on America Rising. Back to you, gentlemen.
Hey,
take it away.
The
I
point I
ask
was
you
going to
a
make here,
question, Spin?
real
I kind
quick
of want to
here,
get in
Doc.
on this easy.
Real quick here. I think every single one of us here on the panel would absolutely agree that we should have immigration, given that it's done legally. The problem is that when you allow illegal immigration to happen, what are you saying to the folks that are just waiting in line? That's not fair to them. We have a nation, we have laws. If you don't have a border, you don't have a country, plain and simple.
100%.
Right. Kraut, Mick, I know you've been wanting to weigh in on here. Go ahead, sir. I apologize about the wait.
Nah, I mean, damn near a full pin. Trust me, I understand. You know, New York driving though, sometimes I gotta aggressively push in, right? We all do. Easy. Let me ask you a question. What happens if somebody in this country that has a visa, what happens to them if they commit a crime? Or what could happen to them?
I mean, get arrested? I mean, what's the, is there more to that question?
No, that's a pretty straightforward question. Why? They can get deported. You know that, right?
So let them get deported then. But can we do it in reverse though?
Hold up. I got a second question that'll follow up on that. What happens if a U.S. citizen gets arrested?
They go to jail.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. What happens if a U.S. citizen commits a crime and they go to jail? I had that shit backwards, my fault. Okay, so like the same rights U.S. citizens, and it's we the people are U.S. citizens. I don't know if you're educated enough to realize that, but immigrants, whether they're illegal or on visas, obviously do not have the same rights, nor should they, than U.S. citizens. And I told Effigy this like 2 weeks ago. Rights are abstract. We can take them away. We can gain more rights depending if we, the people, fight for them. Hence the 19th Amendment, hence the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendments, and a few other amendments that weren't originally signed in the bill, like the first 9 or 10 or whatever the fuck it was. So, like, when liberals always, it's a right, it's a right, it's a right. One, half the time, no, it's not a right. Two, if you base all your morals on rights, you're fucked anyway.
But this is why you're not an American. Because hold on 1 second. Stop. I'm coming in a second. Yeah, that's why you're not an American, though, because the Bill of Rights is not the government giving you rights. It's not an ordainment by the government to do you a favor. The Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments are God-given rights enumerated by the people, showing the government that we have those rights, not giving us rights. When you say give rights, when you say give rights and take away rights, you're bugging. You're bugging. You're not an American then.
Okay, tell me what right did God give us?
The right to defend yourself, the right to
wrong. The government gave us that right because we fought the British, and the government realized it's important to give the citizens. We literally fought for every single fucking right that we had, or the government foreseeing a problem in the future because we had to fight the fucking British, so they enacted that right to begin with.
You sound like a bootlicker.
Are you mad because you're not proving me wrong?
No, it's not. Why would that be wrong? The Constitution is we the people, not we the government.
I said we the people are U.S. citizens. Now let's open your liberal ears and listen for a change. Stop listening to MSNBC. Stop listening to the ABC or whatever the.
I don't even pay attention to the news. I don't even know what you're talking about. You see, you think you know, but you don't know. Andrew, am I a Republican or a Democrat? Where's he at?
Sorry, I was muted. He's a troll.
He seems like a troll. Like God didn't give us any rights. The only right he gave us is the right to live. That's it. He gave us life.
Keep listening to your government. Keep drinking the Kool-Aid.
I don't listen to my government. You can ask most
wake up
people on here. Spin and Play will tell you I don't trust my fucking government. I don't like my government. I love my country. I hate my government. Like you still haven't made a case.
You want to live it? I'll live my life the way I want to live it. I don't mind Hispanic people. I don't mind Indians, and I don't mind blacks. I don't mind people that immigrate from other countries. I'm not afraid. Why are you so afraid?
I got two Puerto Rican brothers. But if you're an illegal, get the fuck out of my country. I got two Puerto Rican brothers.
Why are you afraid of them? Why are you afraid of them?
Oh, you want to go into statistics?
What statistics? The fact that they commit 0.01% of crimes? That statistic? Is that a good one?
If they weren't in this country, there wouldn't be any crimes that they committed, right?
Oh no, the 0.01%. So there can't be look, you all have to be good. There can't be 0.01%. You can't be a human.
Let me ask you something. If murder was 0.01%, would you say forget about it? Murder's okay?
No, murder is never okay, and the crimes they commit is not okay.
Okay, then there you go. You just answered your own question, boss.
You're missing.
You just answered your own
you're missing.
May I ask something though?
Oh, hold up, Clay. You got me tripping out with that fucking name because I thought I was tripping, Clay. I was like, yo, is that you related to Clay? But go ahead.
Yeah.
Is that guy AI? Because I want to look like that when I'm 70.
Who?
You judge another man? I mean, you know, no hate, just come out and say it.
Gentlemen, it is now 8:45. You know,
oh, come on.
Yes, it is 8:45 already. We've been having fun. And
wait a minute.
You know,
I really want to hear what Kevin has to say.
I'm going to give final thoughts, and we are going to start with Kevin. Kevin, give us your final thoughts and your infamous wisdom, please.
Well,
sir.
I'm not going to give too much wisdom. I kind of need to know. Easy. What is your assessment of people who are here illegally being exploited? I mean, I didn't hear you actually rebut or give anything when I was making my commentary earlier, so I'm really curious. What is your take on the exploitation factor, regardless of crimes committed, which you have your statistics, and that's great. What is your take on exploitation of those who are here illegally?
First of all, I want to be you when I grow up. Honestly, that's like you look fucking amazing, bro.
You are very perceptive. Thank you. But go on. Yes.
Secondly, I mean, the exploitation of anyone is completely wrong. So,
right.
I would say that that's the negative. But where did they come from? That Andrew says it all the time. Why do they come here? Why do they come here? They come here because it's a better situation than where they were before. So
yes, understood.
If they feel, and now you're speaking to people's feelings. Do they feel exploited? Is it a better situation that they were in? You know, exploitation to us is different than exploitation to them in their own countries. So I would say let them come here and have a sanctuary.
And okay, and under the definition as we have in this country of what is exploitation, and understanding what exploitation is, And if a person comes from a bad situation where their definition of exploitation may not match ours, but we understand what exploitation is at a humanitarian level, how do we prevent the people who are here illegally from being further harmed by those who would exploit them if we cannot track them and we cannot help them achieve a better life?
I don't like the unvetting, and I think it works against the immigrant more than it works against the United States. I think that they should be vetted and given a path to citizenship. Like, I don't think that there should be this robust system of like not letting people in. I think there should be a more robust system of letting them in, robust system of letting people in to do it legally and give them a path to like a real good life. Like, their kids, like I grew up with a lot of their children, and they became super successful, beautiful, wonderful people. And that's why I can't get on board with the kick them all out scenario, because even though their parents were exploited, working 20 hours a day to give them a better life, they turned out to be some of the leaders of one of the biggest and best cities in the United States.
I feel you. I can't subscribe to everything. However, I can feel where you're coming from on that. Life sucks.
At least we got one reasonable person here.
Yeah, not easy. You're on fire tonight, man. You fucking must have did your homework.
Go ahead, Clay.
No, well, you know, the thing about the immigration and all that, and the Constitution being full of rights and all that, like I do want to clarify that there are things that are considered natural or God-given rights, whereas there are rights that you are granted by the government, right? But depending on what they are, right, they can either be constitutional rights or they can be some rights that some other government gave you. But in America, okay, specifically life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, which are actually in the Declaration, are in fact understood by pretty much everyone to be solid God-given or natural rights. Whereas, you know, you could make the claim that like, I don't like states' rights. I don't like that. I think that it produces a warring between the people and the states on what rights actually are. So you could make a claim that perhaps those aren't natural or God-given rights, but they are state rights. I mean, that's literally what they're called. So, you know, it's something in between, right? That's what I would say.
Sure, absolutely. Kraut, your final thoughts, final comments, sir.
I got two quick ones. Clay, the first time I ever joined these panels, me and you had a disagreement on executions. It was very cordial. I think one day we should set up a debate on rights. You know, we're both respectful. We were both pretty cordial. One of the first times I was on this panel. But
yeah, all
of that said, yeah, like I would disagree with Clay mostly for his final comments. I think the only right that God gave us naturally is the right to life. He literally created life. All other rights, basically, we had to fight for it. And if we don't keep using our rights, like I think Clay did state that earlier, if we don't advocate our rights, we will lose them. And I don't know what he's on. Maybe he is a troll, but he was saying some outlandish stuff I can't even touch on my final comments. But that's it. That's all I got.
Absolutely. Thank you. And the scratching is released over on the America Rising Media channel on pilled.net. Make sure you get in there and get the scratching. Andrew, our special guest of the evening.
I'm here, sir.
You, sir.
Yeah, I'm just happy that Easy showed up, and it looks like he came prepared tonight, at least from his own side. And I'm glad that he's here and everybody's here. It was a very good show. I'll definitely be back. I'm sure he will be too. Thank
Absolutely.
You.
Absolutely. For the win, sir. What say you, sir?
Yeah, like I said before, if you don't have a border, you don't have a country. There's a duty that the government has to its citizens before anybody else. And to Easy's point here, you mentioned, sir, a robust system of allowing these people in. And my question to you is it a robust system having just an open border and having 20 million people come across it and being flown into this country based on the people that were running the country, allowing an invasion to happen? Is that a robust system? Because you're right that there should be a robust system for legal immigration where folks are vetted and allowed to be able to come in. We're not going to let in murderers, rapists, people that aren't going to do any benefit for our society. But my question simply is, was that a robust system allowing people to come across the border in that fashion?
It was completely mishandled. I mean, it was completely mishandled. And I think that the refugee statuses that they have are a good thing. And I think that it shouldn't be that difficult to document people as they cross the border and to make it a friendly process as opposed to like an arduous trekking that, if their country doesn't want them to leave, then I can understand it being arduous on that side. But our side should be welcoming with open arms and hugs and kisses and all kinds of love, because these could be the next doctors or cancer curers or the next AI prompt programmers and immigrants work hard, man. That's why they say we need the immigrants for the factories, because the U.S. hasn't produced anything in how long? If they start opening up all those closed factories in the Midwest, are you going to work there? You're not going to work there. So give somebody who's coming from a worse situation an opportunity to become a rich American, like what we do for everyone else.
Absolutely. And I want to get over to Rumble for just 1 second. I apologize. I missed a comment. Ascending Proof says, we have systems in place for immigration. 7 years to become a citizen. Immigrants strive to adopt our culture and become American, like speaking American, coming in lawfully through a port of entry. Any thoughts, gentlemen?
Can I ask Easy one more question?
Yep, we have about 6 minutes. Yes.
Easy. Who's getting deported?
Who's getting deported? What does it matter? I don't know. I don't understand. Like, you always have these two-part questions that then are like a haha, I gotcha moment when you come to the second question.
Easy to answer that question, Easy.
Who's getting deported? I have no idea who's getting deported. Do you know who's getting deported?
So what are you even arguing for? Yeah, I know who's getting deported. Illegal immigrants and people that
I don't care if they
overstay
get
their
deported.
visa.
I want them let in. That's all.
Listen, you're misunderstanding. We have a system. The people getting deported are illegal immigrants and people that overstay their visa. If the illegal immigrants came in here legally, they wouldn't have a problem. If the people holding visas that did that whole shit, whatever, how long, 5-7 years, they got to reinstate their visa or whatever it is, and they did that, they wouldn't get deported. They're not doing the system the way it was designed. Your whole argument is like, it's stupid.
The way the system was designed is stupid. But you love the government, so I mean that's so for you you love it, but you love the government.
And I don't want MS-13's members coming on my country and invading that shit like they did that apartment complex 3 years ago. But you don't know about that, huh?
Yeah, that was all fake. And then the Hells Angels went there, and you know what they found? They found nobody. That's what they found there. They found nobody.
Dude, there's video footage of them overrunning that fucking apartment complex, bro.
And were they hardworking illegal immigrants, or were they gang members? So you see, you're using the wrong metric. You're using the illegal immigrant metric instead of the criminal metric. So yeah, can illegal immigrants be criminals? Yes, but at a very low rate.
Illegal immigrant gang members.
At a very low rate.
Enjoy not having those extra 20 million votes that were going to be Democrat votes. Your party's out of power. Tough luck. Cry hard.
There wasn't even 20 million.
I support President Trump. What do you mean?
Where do you get this 20 million number from? Actually, like I've checked so much. Where do you get the 20 million from?
Is that the dude that claimed maps ain't a thing? The dude that just talked like a while ago? Yeah.
What did I say?
You claim maps wasn't a thing when I think Coffee and Clay were talking about.
I said it was
like
never co-opted by any LGBTQIA plus party. Never.
Yeah, why do you think so many actual transition people from that community stepped away from that shit? Because it's full of fucking rainbow predators now.
What are you talking about?
I just said what I'm talking about.
No, like, what are you talking about specifically? Why do you think so many, like, where's the proof of this? Sure,
I'm right here. I'm right here.
I'm not saying not just you, not just you. There are others. I mean, like, widespread actual proof. Like, of course, people are going to step away. I'm not denying that. I am not denying that.
This. I'll let you step
away from groups and movements and parties. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying I don't think it was widespread like you're saying.
I mean, ask Coffee.
I understand Coffee's right there. I'm just saying it's not as widespread as you're saying.
I will.
But I mean, the fact that they left the community for that reason should tell you something. Maps, they were definitely trying to push maps, bro. Regardless of not.
All right, guys. Okay. So let's do this. Okay. I want to make sure that before we end up closing out for the American Rising Media, that we give everybody their opportunity for last statement. Cameron and Scott, I think that both of you are the only ones we haven't gotten to yet. Let's go ahead and give Cameron his last comment here, last statement, if you could, please, and thank you.
This was a great panel, regardless of anything. But I do think this was a great conversation to have, and thank you, Spin, for hosting, and Bricks or Clay. Sorry.
Absolutely, no problem. I've had a good time as well. Thank you so much. And Scott,
I'm going to give it to Easy for joining the panel against all the odds there that is there. That's about all. I'll give it to him.
Against all the Watts?
White man, the devil against the devil.
I think we just all need to get back to our roots. I will say, I know several immigrants who came here legally. Those legal immigrants are not able to get welfare. They're not able to ask for any kind of physical help when it comes to financial issues, or they have to go back. But yet, when we come in here illegally, these states are giving these illegals all this funds that we as American citizens can't get. So I think we just all need to get back into the Holy Bible.
Very good.
Final words.
Yeah. Thank you, Scott. And thank you.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everybody in the back. We are going to do our final thoughts on the panel. I want to again thank everybody, especially Andrew and the late but ever so sure bald Easy for coming up. And we will do this again very soon next week. And you know what? You know what I think I'm going to do? You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to do a part 2 to this next week. I think I'm sure Brick and I will come up with something like-minded or a part 2 to this saga and drama. And always, folks, I much appreciate you coming in. I'm going to go ahead and put everybody in the back. If everybody will stay in the back, we will do our outro after we end the stream and the outros have played. And maybe we'll play some more. Maybe I'll start another stream and we can just go at it. How's that? So give me just a few minutes. I will get us out. Gentlemen, stick around. We'll be right back. Clay, oh Clay, oh Clay.
There you go. I was gonna say,
yeah. We have speed dates, right? And it messes everything up, and I try to fix it. I really do. Clay, I want to welcome you to the America Rising Media family on the Panelist, on obviously America Rising Media. I want to thank you, because obviously we've been talking about this, and obviously it's a good outpost, and it's a little bit of a change of what we're used to. Sir, your final thoughts on the Panelist on America Rising Media.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Spin City, for hosting this. Thank you to the America Rising Media family out there. Thank you to our special guest, Mr. Dragon Fist TV, Andrew. Thank you to all the rest of the panelists who came up. Thank you to Mr. Easy, who came in opposition and providing those opposing arguments. We definitely need that as well. And thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to everybody who's watching, and thank you to those donors. We really appreciate you guys. You guys have made this show possible as well. Thank you.
Absolutely. And Clay, I want to say, stay safe, Patriots. Keep the dream alive. It will get better soon. Until later, America, we will see you later.
Shake every seat, got a fighter, every point got a stake. Heat boys, heat grins, then the volume goes high. One more hot take and somebody might fly. Hands up, here we go again. Talk real loud, let the chaos begin. Side to side and the truth gets loud. Spin City calls it out. Right there in the crowd, the Panelist on America Rising Media. The Panelist on America, hey, Rising Media. Spin City, spin it hard, yelling at everyone. Spin City, spin it hard, nobody leaves untouched. He leans in close, then he cuts to the chase. A raised eyebrow hit right across his face. One says yes, one says no in a flash. He turns that heat up like he wants it to clash. A finger in the air and the debate goes wild. Every argument sharp, every answer style. He laughs, he swings, then he hands up the mic. The whole room buzzes like a match in the night. Hands up, here we go again. Talk real loud, let the chaos begin. Side to side and the truth gets loud. Spin City calls it out. Right there in the crowd, the Panelist on America, hey, Rising Media. The Panelist on America, Rising Media. Spin City, spin it hard, yelling at everyone. Spin City, spin it hard, nobody leaves untouched.
America Rising Media. Check us out live on the web. All of our show times for all of our exclusive content and shows. You can check out all the ARM channels and all the America Rising Media podcasters. America Rising Media. And that's not all. You can find all of our exclusive content on all of our platforms linked up as well at the click of a button. You can check out our scheduling, see when our shows are, find out what's going on, get in touch with all of our social media. Changes will be announced on our website or, of course, on our Telegram, t.me, America Rising. Also support us, independent media, independent patriot media. This is our merch store. Get armed. Peacefully, of course. Thank you for all of your support. You can also find links to all of our videos, Wicked Age, and all their music, exclusively on our website. Sean's videos, my videos, all the exclusive content, and of course, links directly to pill.net, our flagship. Also, Getter, X, Truth Social, all of our social media. We are America Rising Media. You can find us at America Rising